Really quickly before we get into the rules, I'm going to be doing a charity stream for St. Jude at the GCX event Twitch in an hour or so. At 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, June 16th, I'm going to be doing this stream for 4 hours. I'm raising money for St. Jude Children's Hospital, and I would really appreciate it if you guys showed up. It's at twitch.tv/GCX event, and if you can just donate $1, that helps the kids. I'd really appreciate you being there. I'll shut up. Let's go. Let's talk about the gun.
Don't be lost. Zone A captured. You have advantage. You're getting stronger as you fight. I love it. Double. Zone A captured. Zone advantage is yours. Double down. I wouldn't be able to fight again beyond the walls. I would tear out Avex's heart with my teeth. I would sear the Cabal with my burning light, challenge the fallen Kells to personal combat and scatter them.
Now I know what you're thinking. I need a cold denial pulse rifle. And I felt the same. For the last 24 to 48 hours, I don't even know how many hours were spent farming this, I have used every single Umbral engram I can and enforced it so that I could get the cold denial or the fallen guillotine sword. Now luckily, I got pretty well the god roll for the sword. I've got Whirlwind Blade, Relentless Strike, Swordmaster's Guard, and even Tempered Edge. You could get Jagged Edge and it might be a little bit better depending how you look at it, but I'm really happy with that. But I've got about 3 of these cold denials that I'm really happy with out of like 50 that I got. I used hundreds of engrams on this bad boy and my luck wasn't the greatest. I kept getting one perk that was good, one perk that was bad. I could never get the god roll, but I have a few that I think are god roll territory, and now that I've played around with a lot of these perks, I've got some insight on what is going to be best. So I'm going to give you a little breakdown of my findings. So number 1, the cold denial is good no matter what. It is an awesome pulse rifle because it's got one of the lowest zoom factors on any pulse in the game. It's got a 14 zoom, the lowest of all high-impact pulses. That means you've got more field of view. If someone rushes you with a shotgun, you don't feel as handcuffed and zoomed in, and it's got a lot of value. But there's one downside, and that is the range. Even if you put a lot of range stat on this thing, it only has like a 31-ish meter range, but you can push it out with something like Killing Wind. I think that this thing functions very well in its intended ranges, and you can get in trouble in some of the further ranges, but with how many people use other pulse rifles or hand cannons in the game, the only time you're going to run into trouble is if you're trying to map someone who might be sniping down range or using a scout, which is very infrequent. So let's get started. Let's talk about the god rolls. Let's go. So that one's going to be, I'm going to save that one for in a bit. I want to talk about this one first. Headseeker. Now, I can't believe I'm recommending Headseeker, but with the buff to this archetype, Headseeker now makes it a 4 headshot, 2 body shot, instead of a 5 headshot, 1 body shot. That makes this a very lenient weapon, and it allows you to get some very easy kills where your aim might be a little scuffed, and it's got a lot of value. Now, the next perk here, Killing Wind, I would recommend on any roll you get. Any one you get, Killing Wind makes this great because it pushes out the range about 4 meters. That means that you're going to be able to do damage, full damage, at a further range and duel some of those other high impact pulses and push into further ranges to destroy hand cannons. Now, as for the other perks, I think that getting a bunch of stability is really good so it doesn't jump at all. It's make it a laser beam. When I tried stacking range, it didn't really feel that valuable, especially when you were stacking the stability because it was harder to hit your shots at a range. If you're looking for an all-around good one, Headseeker is the one to go with. Now, one of the reasons why I like this one is, as I said before, it just feels consistent. And honestly, it probably feels the best for your first duel of an engagement. Before you get a kill, this is probably the most valuable one because other ones require kills to get any sort of damage stacking, but after that first kill is when this one starts to fall off a little bit. If you're just looking to win your 1v1s, this one might be the overall best one. But if you're looking to frag out and get multi-kills and just dominate, the other ones are going to be better just because of that damage ramping and the potential of stacking damage. So let's go look at these other roles and how good they can be, but don't knock this one till you try it. Now, this one with Swashbuckler was my personal favorite. I don't know if it'll be your personal favorite, but I liked the way it interacted because I liked playing Top Tree Dawnblade a lot of the time. With Swashbuckler, you can stack up damage, and it goes from 36 to 38 to 40, 42, and it goes all the way up to 47 damage at times 5. Now, if you melee someone, you instantly get that damage, and you can absolutely melt people with this pulse rifle. Better yet, if you keep getting kills at 5 times, that number doesn't go down, so you can push person after person after person, and just annihilate them. Now, Killing Wind, once again, I really like it because it pushes out that range, and I think that this is the meta. I honestly think that the reload speed is good enough that the Killing Wind is a must-have, especially because we've got stuff like the Enhanced Pulse Rifle Loader available in either just the regular mod or even in this bad boy here. You can get it for 1 energy cost, Enhanced Pulse Rifle Loader. You can even stack 2 of them if you want. Now, for me, Swashbuckler was the ultimate pick. It felt so damn powerful. I almost got a 7th column 2 different times while testing this in the span of 2 games. I'm telling you, the amount of multi-kills I was getting with Swashbuckler felt like cheating. Stacking damage regularly is great, but being able to land that melee and get Swashbuckler times 5 and beam someone for 47 damage to the skull, it's just too damn good. It's just too powerful. Now you have to remember that these clips are all in the same game. I can imagine I could get even better ones if I committed playing more, but you gotta look how powerful this thing is. It's nutty! Now I understand skill-based matchmaking, it's turned off. I understand maybe I'm farming noobs, but guys, this thing is insanity. AC 130 above! Now this one I think people are going to fall in love with because multi-kill clip instantly brings your damage up to 42 to the head. That pushes out your range further, and if you were to stack it with something like Killing Wind, you can map people like super far, like 40 meters, and kill them in 2 bursts. Now I've got Feeding Frenzy, which is really, really good. It's awesome, but I honestly would replace this in a heartbeat for Killing Wind. I think the mixture of multi-kill clip and Killing Wind allows you to get some great damage. You can stack it up, you can map people, and I think that's the ultimate god roll. But even this one is extremely good. You see, Headseeker is the most forgiving before your first kill, but I feel like multi-kill clip is the most forgiving after your first kill. Now, unless you're getting a melee kill with Swashbuckler, the bonus damage of having plus 42 to the head is just insanity. You land a couple of headshots, you land a couple bodies, it doesn't really matter, just point your damn gun towards them and they're going down. Now, with the Feeding Frenzy, you're obviously getting that reload speed, so if you want to try to get some multi-kill clip times 1, times 2, times 3, it's a little bit easier to do that. But I think that the range is going to be much more beneficial because anything outside that 31 meter range is going to start having damage fall off, requiring you to land more headshots. I'd rather have the extra range, I'd rather be able to use that damage to its fullest. If I could only pick one, I think multi-kill clip is the one I would recommend to the majority of players just because of how frequently you're going to get value out of this. There's other things that definitely work. You can use Zen Moment if you want it to be stable, but honestly, I think that damage and range are the go-to for this weapon. It's already stable enough. The sights on it are great. You might as well just kill someone faster, dominate everything in your path, and I think that multi-kill clip is one of the best ones for doing that. There's no way in hell I would be taking some of the trash ones like the symbiotic reloading symbiote. I don't even care what it's called. They're all trash compared to this. A quick recap. Headseeker, if you want an all-around great pulse rifle, you don't want to get any crazy damage stacking or anything like that, I think that Headseeker Killing Wind is going to be beautiful. Everyone is going to love it. My personal favorite, but maybe a little bit more risky, is the Swashbuckler. If you're ending up landing those melee kills, you can absolutely dominate with this thing, and you can catch people off guard with the immense amount of damage. But for a well-rounded one, Feeding Frenzy multi-kill clip or Killing Wind multi-kill clip, I think will go a long way as well. These pulse rifles are insanity. Get one right now because I honestly think they're meta, and that's pretty much it from me. And quickly again, if you're interested in having some fun tonight, raising funds for St. Jude, come to twitch.tv/GCX event. I'm going to be streaming there. Make sure to check it out. We're going to have some fun, awesome prizes, awesome incentives. Let's go, gamers!